In this video, I'm going to be doing the June 2018 Foundation Tier Paper 3. Question 1. Write 9/10 as a decimal. So we can use our calculator for this one. If you just type 9/10, 9/10 into the calculator and press the SD button, it will come up as 0.9. Question 2, write 0.3 as a percentage. To change something to a percentage, times by 100, and that will tell us it's 30%. Question 3, write 2,538 correct to the nearest 100. So the hundreds, they're these ones. They're the hundreds. So is it closer to 2,500 or the next one up 2,600? It's closer to 2,500. Question 4. Here are the first 4 terms of a sequence. So it goes 2, then 9, 16, 23. Write down the next term, so we should be able to see it's going up in 7s. It's going up by 7 every time. So if we add 7 on to 23, we will get 30. Explain how you got your answer. We added 7 onto 23. Work out the 10th term of the sequence. So we could either keep adding 7 on, so add 7, add 7, add 7 until we get to the 10th term, or we can use the nth term, which might be easier. So it's going up in 7, so it's 7n. That's the 7 times table. And it's the 7 times table, take away 5. The sequence is the 7 times table, take away 5. So that's called the nth term. So if you want to work out the first term, you change n to 1. If you want to work out the second term, you change n to 2. If we want to work out the 10th term, change n to 10. So it'd be 70, take away 5, 65. Again, you could have just added 7 on every time, and that would have got you the same answer. Question 5. Here are 4 digits. We've got 7, 3, 4, and 9. Use 3 of the digits to write the largest possible 3-digit number. So if we want the largest possible number, we're going to use the 3 largest digits, which is the 7, the 4, and the 9. The largest possible number is going to have 9 first, so 900. That's the biggest one. Then the next biggest one in the tens, which is 7. And then the next biggest one, or the smallest one, in the units, or the ones, and that's the 4. So it's 974 is the biggest 3-digit number we can make. Part B. Here are 4 different digits. So this time we've got 8, 2, 1, and 6. Put 1 in each box to give the smallest possible number. So the smallest possible number, so that means we're going to want to use the smallest ones in the tens. So the 2 and the 1, doesn't matter which way round we put them. And the 2 biggest ones in the ones. So the 8 and the 6, again, it doesn't matter which way round they go. Question 6. Write down all the factors of 30. So what numbers times to make 30? We can do 1 times 30. It's in the 2 times table, 2 times 15. 3 times 10. It's not in the 4 times table, so we'll skip that one. And it's 5 times 6. And then we've got back round to 6, so we know there's no more. So the factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. Question 7. So David has twice as many cousins as Becky. Becky has twice as many cousins as Nishat. Nishat has 6 cousins. How many cousins does David have? So Nishat's got 6 cousins. So I'll put a 6 next to Nishat. Becky's got twice as many. So twice as many as 6. That must be 12. So Becky's got 12. And David's got twice as many as Becky. So 2 lots of 12, 24. So David has got 24 cousins. Question 8. So find the value of, we're just typing this into the calculator. So press the square root button first, and then 1.44 times 3.61, all under the square root sign. And it comes up as 57 over 25, or 2.28. And the same again. So find the value of, we can type it in one go. So we've got the bracket, 3.54 minus 0.96, close the bracket, press squared, and then minus 4.096. And that gives us 2.5604. Question 9. So we've got a bus timetable between Bury and Manchester. And let's go straight to the question. How many minutes should the 8:25 bus take to go from Bury to Manchester? So how many minutes between 8:25 and 9:05? 8:25 to 9 o'clock. How many minutes from 8:25 to 9 o'clock? That's 35 minutes. And then another 5 minutes to 9:05. Say 35 and 5, 40 minutes. Daniel goes from Whitefield to Manchester by bus. So he's going from Whitefield to Manchester. It takes him 17 minutes to get from his house to the bus stop. 15 minutes from Manchester to work. He's leaving, he needs to get to work by 10, and he's leaving at 8:45. So will he get to work for 10? So he's leaving at 8:45. It takes him 17 minutes to get to the bus stop. So if he left at 8:45, that's 15 minutes to 9 o'clock, and another 2 minutes. So he's at 9:02 at the bus stop. So 9:02 at the bus stop. What bus can he get at 9:02? So he's getting the 9:04 bus. Which gets to Manchester at 9:35. So 9:35 at Manchester, 15 minutes to walk to work. So 9:35 plus 15 minutes, that's 9:50, and he's at work. So does he get to work by 10? Yes. Bronwyn works in a restaurant. The table gives her rates of pay, So we've got Monday to Friday rate and a weekend rate. She worked for 20 hours last week, 8 at the weekend. So we've got 8 at the weekend. and it must be 20 minus 8, so 12 on the weekdays, Monday to Friday. 12 on the weekdays. Show that she was paid less than £200. So let's just work out how much money she gets. So 8 at the weekend. So 8 times £11.20. And 12 on the other days. 12 times £8.40. So we can type these into the calculator. 8 times £11.20 comes up as 89.6 or £89.60. And 12 times £8.40 that comes up as £100.80. So if we add those up, we get £190.40, which is less than 200. Question 11. Last year, the cost of a season ticket for a football club was £560. This year, the cost has been increased to £600. Write down the increase in the cost as a fraction of last year's cost. Okay, so the increase in the cost is 600 minus 560, which is £40. So that's the increase. And then we need to write that as a fraction of last year's cost. So 40 over last year's cost, which is 560. It doesn't say give your answer in its simplest form. We of course can. We can just type it into the calculator and the calculator will simplify it for us, which is 1/14. But we don't need to. It doesn't say give your answer in a certain form. Okay, question 12. The diagram shows a scale drawing of a tennis court. And the scale is 1 to 200. So work out the perimeter of the real tennis court. So we need to work out the perimeter of this rectangle and multiply it by 200. So we grab our ruler. So we measure how far along the top, what's the length? So that's 11.5 centimeters. Measure the width and it looks like 5.8 centimeters. So for the total perimeter, we've got two 11.5s and two 5.8. So we're going to add them up in the calculator. And that gives us 34.6 centimeters. So I'll write two 11.5s plus two 5.8s equals 34.6. So we've got 34.6 centimeters. And we're going to have to times that by 200 because the real tennis court is 200 times bigger. So times 200, and that comes out as 6,920 centimeters. But it says give your answer in meters. So give your answer in meters. We're going to divide by 100, and it's going to give us 69.2 meters. Okay, question 13. Here are 6 straight line graphs. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, and F. And we need to match each equation with the graph. So let's look at these graphs one by one. and we'll go through what the equations are. So graph A, it's got so the equation of a straight line is in the form y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. So the first one has got a gradient of -1, you go down in ones, and a y-intercept of 2. So it's y equals -x plus 2. Graph B has got, well, it's the equation of x equals 2. X is always 2. When you get a straight line parallel to the axes, it's either an x equals something or a y equals something. So this is x equals 2. This is another graph going down with a gradient of, again, it looks like -1, and it's got a y-intercept of 0. So y equals -x. Graph D, this is y equals 2. E, it's got a gradient of 1, and it's going up in ones every time, along one up one, along one up one. And so 1x, or just x, and a y-intercept of 2. And F has got a gradient of 1, so y equals 1x, or just x, and a y-intercept of nothing, so y equals x. So let's match these up. Y equals 2 is graph D. Y equals x is graph F. And x plus y equals 2. So x plus y equals 2. If I add x to both sides, I'll get x plus y equals 2 for graph A. Question 14. Here are the marks 20 students got in a French test. Show this information on a stem and leaf diagram. So a stem and leaf diagram, we have our stems, which are our tens, which are going to be 60, so 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're going to have 6, 7, 8, 9. And then our leaves are the units, the ones. So if I start with all the zeros, so all the ones with the ones of 0, so 80. I've got 70 there, 80 again there, 70 there. There's no more zeros, so I'll do the ones. Got 91, 71, 81, 81 again. There's no more ones, so the twos. 82. No more twos. Can't see any threes there, so the fours. Got 84, 94, 64. No more fours, so fives. 75. No more fives, so sixes. 76, 76, and 7, 77, 67, 87, and I've got 2 left. They're both 69. So 69, 69. So I should have 20 numbers now in here, so I'll check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then we'll finish it off with a key. So 6, 4 means 64 marks. We actually had the grid drawn for us, which we could have used, but we've drawn our own. One of these students is going to be chosen at random. The pass mark in the test is 71, so the probability they failed is 1/4. So 71. The pass mark 71, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people didn't get 71. So everyone that got 60s and the 2 that got 70. So 6 didn't pass or failed. And there are 20 of them. So 6 out of 20 is, well, it's not 1/4. So 1/4 is 5 out of 20. So 6 out of 20 is more than 1/4. Question 15. Jenny is asked to find the value of 12 minus 2 times 4. Here is her working. So she's done it wrong. She should have multiplied first. So we use BIDMAS or BODMAS or PEDMAS, whatever you call it. And you multiply first. So she should have done 12 minus 2 times 4, which is 8. And she should have got 4. So she should have multiplied first. And I'll just write 12 minus 8 equals 4. So we know how to do it. And we'll definitely get the mark. Rian is asked to find the range of numbers. Here is his working. 5 take away 3 equals 2. This is wrong. Explain why. So the range is the biggest, take away the smallest. And that isn't what Rian's done. So it should have been 8 take away 1, which is 7. Question 16. Alan, Bispar, and Chan share a sum of money. Alan gets 1/8. Bispar gets half. Chan gets the rest. Alan gets £2.50. How much does Bispar get? So right, Alan gets 1/8. And he also gets £2.50. So 1/8 of the money must be £2.50. 1/8 is £2.50. So if 1/8 of the money is £2.50, £2.50 times 8, and that gives us £20 is the total amount. So £20 is how much money they had. Bispar gets half. So 20 divided by 2 is £10. So Bispar gets £10. So Bispar's got 10. Alan's got £2.50. The total was 20. So Chan has £7.50. We're going to use that for part B. So find the ratio of the amount Alan gets to the money Chan gets. So Alan got, I'll write down 20, take away 10, take away £2.50 equals £7.50. So that's how we worked out how much Chan has got. And the amount of money Alan gets is £2.50 to the amount of money Chan gets, which is £7.50. So we've written it as a ratio. but they're not whole numbers, so we need to simplify this or make them whole numbers somehow. And they're both in the £2.50 times table, so I've got one lot of £2.50 and I've got 3 lots of £2.50. We could have done it differently and just doubled them to change them to 5 and 15. That would have worked as well. But the simplest answer is 1 to 3. Question 17. ABC is an isosceles right-angled triangle. The area of the triangle is 162 centimeters squared. Work out the value of x. So the area of the triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. So the area is 3x times 3x divided by 2. So 3x times 3x, 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared divided by 2. So 9x squared divided by 2. And we're told that is 162. So 9x squared over 2 is 162. So how can we solve this? So we need to get x by itself. So I'm going to start by multiplying both sides by 2. So I've got 9x squared and 162 times 2 is 324. And now I want to get rid of the 9. At the moment it's multiplied by x squared. To get rid of a times by 9, I divide by 9. So divide both sides by 9, which leaves x squared is 36. And then to get rid of a square, we square root. So x is the square root of 36, which is 6. Work out the value of, give your answer in standard form. So we're just going to type this in the calculator. So press the fraction button first. The fraction button first. And then in the top line, just 2.645 times 10 to the power of 9. And on the bottom line, 1.15 times 10 to the power of 3. So I've just typed it in the calculator. And I've got 2, 3 and 5 zeros. So 2.3 million. I need to write it in standard form. So it's a number between 1 and 10. So 2.3 times 10. How many times? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 10, 6 times. 2.3 million is 2.3 times 10 to the power of 6. Question 19. A scatter diagram shows information about 12 girls. It shows the age of each girl and the best time she takes to run 100 meters. So write down the type of correlation. So it's going down, so it's called a negative correlation. So just the word negative would get us the mark here. Christina is 11 years old. Her best time to run 100 meters is 12 seconds. The point representing this information would be an outlier. Explain why. So she's 11 years old and she can do the 100 meters in 12 seconds. So she would be down here. That's where Christina would be. So why is that an outlier? So with a scatter graph, we usually draw a line of best fit, which goes through the middle of the points and you can see there's a trend. The negative correlation, it was a trend going down, and this point is a long way away from it. It's a long way away from the line of best fit, or a long way away from the trend, or it's not near other people of her age. So any of these we could say. So it's an outlier because it is a long way from the line of best fit. Debbie is 15 years old. She says the scatter diagram shows I should take less than 12 seconds to run 100 meters. So Debbie is 15 years old. We're only supposed to use the line within the points we're given. So you can't extend the trend forever. If you kept extending it, by the time you got to about 18, they'll be setting the world record. So we can't make a judgment about how fast a 15-year-old can do it because there's no information for 15-year-olds. So we could only make a judgment for people between 10 and almost 14. So we cannot use the scatter graph for 15-year-olds. There is no information about 15-year-olds. So it's called extrapolation. So extrapolation is what it's called, and it's not reliable. So you should only use the scatter graph within the range of data you're given. Question 20. Expand and simplify. So 5 times p is 5p. 5 times 3 is 15. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And negative 2 times negative 2p. A negative times a negative is a positive. And 2 times 2 makes 4. And we've got the p. And then we're going to simplify. So we've got 5p plus 4p, which is 9p. And 15 take away 2, which is 13. Question 21. Here is a trapezium. And we need to draw a triangle with the same area. So we need to work out the area of this shape and then draw a triangle with the same area. So what have we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 along. 7 along the bottom, 2 along the top. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4 tall. So we could split it into triangles and work them out separately, or we could use the area of a trapezium, which is half the sum of the 2 parallel sides. So half 2 plus 7 added up and halved times the distance between them times 4. So add up 2 and 7, half it, so 9, half of it. We could type this in the calculator, of course. Half of 9 is 4.5 times 4, 4.5 times 4, which is 18 centimeters squared. So the area is 18 centimeters squared. We need to draw a triangle with the same area. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2 must equal 18. And that means the base times the height. So what must this number be? What number divided by 2 equals 18? So that's 36. So the base times the height must be 36. What two numbers times together to make 36? We could do 6 times 6, or we could do 4 times 9. I'm not sure we'll fit in 12 times 3. Probably not. So we could do 6 by 6, so 6 base 6 height, or 4 base 9 height. Or 9 is the base and 4 is the height. Either way around. Let's do 6 by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter what shape you make the triangle. You could do a isosceles triangle, a scalene triangle, a right angle triangle. That's not important, as long as it's got a base of 6 and a perpendicular height of 6, or 4 and 9. So or 4 and 9. And there's our triangle. Question 22. When a bias 6-sided dice is thrown once, the probability it will land on 4 is 0.65. The dice is thrown twice. Amir draws the probability tree diagram, but not correctly. So the probability it will land on 4 should be 0.65. So where are the mistakes? So this should be, all the land on 4s should be 0.65. So all the land on 4 should be 0.65. And if the probability of landing on 4 is 0.65, the probability of not landing on 4 should be 0.35. So it should be 0.65, 0.35, 0.65, 0.35, 0.65, 0.35. So there's the correct diagram. Write down 2 things wrong with the probability tree diagram. So on the first row, so for the first row, not land on 4, should be 0.35, not 0.25. And for the second throw, the top one, so the second throw, after land on 4, so the top one, are, well, they're both wrong. They're the wrong way round, so we could write he drew them the wrong way round, or they are both incorrect. They should be, I'll put should be 0.65 for land on 4 and 0.35 for not land on 4. Question 23. ABC is a right angle triangle. Work out the size of angle ABC. So that'd be X. So we've got a SOHCAHTOA question. So we're going to label the triangle. We've got the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. Got the adjacent in between the right angle and the angle, and the opposite the angle we're given, not the right angle. And 11's got H, 7's got A, O's not in the question, so it's A and H. So it's car, it's cos. So cos with the angle, I put X, cos X equals A over H. Cos X equals A is 7, h is 11, so cos x equals 7 over 11. And to get cos away from x, we shift cos. So shift cos 7 over 11 and we get 50 to one decimal place, 50.5. The length of side AB is reduced by 1 centimeter. So AB is now 6. No, AB is now 10. AB is now 10. The length of BC is still 7. So AB is 10, BC is 7. So we've now got 10 and 7. And we've still got the right angle. Will cos ABC increase or decrease? So cos ABC was 7/11. So cos ABC was 7/11. What is it now? So we've got this is the hypotenuse, this is the adjacent, this is our ABC angle. So cos ABC is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 7/10 now. So it was 7/11, it's now 7/10. So is it increased or decreased? So what's bigger, 7/10 or 7/11? 7/10 is bigger. So 7/10 is bigger than 7/11. So cos ABC has increased. Cos ABC has increased because 7/10 is 7/10 now. It was 7/11 before, so it's gone up. Question 24. There are some counters in a bag. They are red or white or blue or yellow. Bob is going to take a counter at random from the bag. So there's probabilities it will be blue or yellow given to us. There are 18 blue counters in the bag, so this is 18. The probability that Bob takes a red is twice the probability he will take a white. So if we have X for white, red is 2 X's. So the red is double the white. Should we work out what X is? Let's do that. So blue and yellow, 0.45 plus 0.25. That's, we can use the calculator, 0.7. So 0.7 for blue and yellow. So what's left? 1 minus 0.7 is 0.3. And we've got 3 x's here. So 3 x's equals 0.3. X is 0.1. So I'm going to write white is 0.1. And red is double that, which is 0.2. So how many red counters are in the bag? So 0.45 times how many counters in the bag? C, I'll put C, I've used X already, is 18. So the total number of counters must be 18 divide 0.45. Which is 40. So there are 40 counters in the bag. And probability of red is 0.2. So 0.2 times 40 is 8. So there must be 8 red counters. A marble is going to be taken at random from a box of marbles. The probability that the marble will be silver is 0.5. There must be an even number of marbles in the box. Explain why. So to find how many silver there are, you do the total divided by 2. So if you had an odd divided by 2, you do not get a whole number, an integer. So if there was an odd number and you halved it, you would get, so if there were 9 marbles and you halved it, you'd get 4.5. So you can't have half a marble. You can't have a decimal number of marbles. It's got to be a whole number. So you can't have half a marble. Question 25. Solve 5 minus x all over 2 equals 2x minus 7. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of this fraction. So to get rid of a divide by 2, we times by 2. So I'm going to times both sides by 2, times everything by 2. So that goes to, I'm going to times the whole side by 2. Actually, I'll write it down first. So I'm just going to times this side by 2. So 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. Now I'm solving. I want to get rid of the smallest x first, which is my x over here. So plus x to both sides. So I get 5 equals 5x minus 14. I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to get rid of this minus 14. I'm going to plus 14 to both sides. So I get 19 equals 5x. And then to get x by itself, I'm going to divide by 5. So 19 over 5. We can leave our answer with 19 over 5, or we can change it to 3.8. Either one is absolutely fine. Question 26. ABCDE is a pentagon. And angle BCD, this one here, is 2 times ABC. So if ABC is x, BCD is 2x. Work out the size of angle BCD. So this one. This is the one we're working out. You must show all your work. Okay, so angles in a pentagon. So angles in a pentagon, what do they add up to? Angles in a pentagon in a 5-sided shape. So a triangle is 180. A quadrilateral, a 4-sided shape, is 360. And a pentagon is another 180 on that. So 360 plus 180 is 540. So they go up in 180 every time. So for a triangle, it's 180. Quadrilateral, 2 times 180. Pentagon, 3 times 180. And so on. So they go up in 100. Every time you add a side, you add 180. So angles in a pentagon are 540. We've got 90 here. So we've got 90 plus 115 plus 125 and plus our 3 x's, x and 2x. So plus 3 x's equal 540. So I'm going to add up, going to do 90 plus 115 plus 125. That's 330. I'm going to take 330 off of both sides. So 540 take away 330. That's 210. So 3x is 210. Divide both sides by 3. So x is 70. So remember, that's not our answer. This one is 70. 2x, so we doubled out, double x, so 140. So 2 times 70 is 140. Question 27. We've got similar shapes, similar triangles, and work out the length of DF. So when we've got similar triangles, similar shapes, there is a scale factor. So what do you times by to get from small shape to the big shape? So what do you times? So we've got the same side here. So this side, 8.4 goes with 12.6. So what do you times 8.4 times whatever the scale factor is equals 12.6. So to work out the scale factor, I'm going to do 12.6 divide 8.4, and that's actually 1.5. So to go from the little shape to the big shape, you times by 1.5, and to go back the other way, we're going to divide by 1.5. So work out the length of DF. DF, that's this one here. So it's 6.4 times by the scale factor, which is 9.6. And CB, so we're going backwards this time, 15 divide by the scale factor, and that is 10. Question 28. Make G the subject of the formula. So to get rid of a square root, we do the opposite of square root, which is square. So we're going to square both sides. So I've got t squared equals g plus 6 over 2. To get rid of a divide by 2, the opposite of divide by 2 is the opposite of divide by 2 is times by 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. 2t squared equals g plus 6. And g is almost by itself. I'm going to get rid of a plus 6. The opposite of plus and 6 is taking 6 away. So I'm going to take 6 off of both sides. And I've made g the subject of the formula. So g is equal to 2t squared minus 6.